All right, welcome to this introduction video about the series Teaching Quadratics Conceptually. Unfortunately, there will be no math in this video, so if you're here for that, go on to the next one or find the video that you want to practice. If you have seen this video before and you don't want to watch it again, continue where you left off, find that video on this playlist. All right, so before I tell you a little bit about this series, let me tell you about myself and my experience. All right, so I'm Robert. This is one of the few times you're going to see my face for this series, because I like to keep it about the math, all right? But let me tell you a little bit more with my teaching quadratics experience. I have 10 years minimum of teaching quadratics. I've done it, I taught it every year that I've been teaching math, and multiple times per year. And the nice thing about those 10 years of my experience is that the first two, I was confused. I was using a textbook. I was using formulas and front-loading vocabulary that I no longer continue to practice. I no longer teach that way. So that's what this series is about, how to do it in a way where formulas are not the emphasis of solving problems. And vocabulary is something that we will use in this course, but it won't be given in the first lesson. Sometimes it comes later. Same with the formulas. It's not as we will not see them ever, but they will show up in late at the end of maybe the concept, once the concept is finalized. All right, so that's my experience, and it will continue to grow, hopefully. I want to talk about the audience, which is you. And one of the main questions is, what is the minimum skill level required to understand these concepts? The way I would answer that is, if you have taken algebra before and you forgot all of it, then you're ready for this course. If you've taken pre-algebra, that's probably the easiest way to answer this. Algebra, some type of algebra, pre-algebra experience. Now, in some of these concepts for this series, I do expect you to know a little bit about linear equations, even though the series is not about linear equations. That's the algebra experience that I'm talking about, but it's not necessary for this particular series of quadratics. Although the way that I would answer this question clearly is, if you can do simple multiplications in your head very easily, like multiplying a number by itself, or if you know your timetables really well, then you're ready to do quadratics, in my opinion. If you understand how to multiply numbers, negative numbers, you will be okay. All right, so that's the minimum requirement to understand these ideas. What should you be doing? Meaning you, the audience, you, the person watching the video. A lot of times I give you suggestions. Take out a piece of paper especially if you're a beginner level. And I think I will talk about especially, if you're taking Algebra 1 for the first time or learning about quadratics for the first time, I would recommend that you have a piece of paper and a notebook working the problems out that I provide up front. And if you require more time, I'm going to encourage you to pause and rewind or fast forward if needed. There's times where the ideas presented in the video you're very familiar with and you don't need to rewatch. So go ahead and feel free to fast forward, go to whatever part of the video that you left off, maybe or to the part of the video that you understand up to that point. And if you don't understand something, go back and try to rewatch it. If it still doesn't make sense, go ahead and leave a comment, and either myself or somebody else in the math community would be glad to help you with that. I'm pretty sure. So that's what I recommend that you should be doing. Minimum skill levels, being able to multiply, and you should probably be writing stuff down if you're at the beginner level. And if you're probably refreshing up your skills, maybe you learned this 2 years ago and you never understood the idea why. You probably won't need a notebook. Some of you just are like me, are just fanatics of math, so that you would just watch it without writing it down, but you would watch it just because you like watching math concepts being developed. So that's what I'd recommend. All right. At the end of the day, you will know what to do better anyway. So let me stop telling you what to do and let's continue. All right. So now I will tell you about the series, the actual series of videos themselves. These videos gradually develop the understanding of quadratics. It's not like you're going to watch 5 videos and all of a sudden you're a pro of quadratics. No way, that will not happen this way. So there will be a lot of videos, and that's what I mean by gradually. It's making very small jumps from one video to the next one, so that those jumps are able to be made by every mathematician of every skill. Sometimes I'm going to go too slow, that the pace is too slow for you. And like I said, you know yourself as a mathematician better than I ever will. So feel free to fast forward or even skip a few videos if you need to. If you understand those ideas, then that's great. But I promise you that I try to put something in every video so that every mathematician, even if you're very advanced, there's something in there for you. I believe so, even then. All right, so try and look for it. And like I said, concrete to abstract, this is something I talked about earlier where I don't use formulas. As a matter of fact, I don't start with formulas ever because they're very weird, and very few students would go as far as question as to why does this formula work. And when we use formulas, we stop thinking like that. Why does this idea make sense? So therefore, I like to start with concrete examples that everyone can understand. And like I said, gradually make them into more difficult, more complex, more advanced problems, but so in a manner that the leaps can still be made by everybody. And then finally, we'll arrive at something abstract, which is what I call a formula. And we will see them in this course. We just will not rely on them. And even when we arrive at a formula, you will see that they're very rarely the most convenient way of solving a problem. All right. So I'm really happy to show you that. And like I said, video length is something that I do want to emphasize. My goal when I make these videos for you is to make them as short as possible. All right. That is my #1 goal. But you will find that there's rarely a video in this series that's under 20 minutes. All right. Most of the videos, the shorter ones will be about 20 minutes and the longer ones probably will be about 40. My goal is to never make a video that's longer than 40 minutes. If so, it's because it's an important idea. And that probably will happen in the calculus series anyways. Those videos will be pretty long, I believe. But for quadratics, it should not be the case. Now, again, if it's possible, don't get me wrong. If I wanted to, I can make a 5-minute video on math ideas, but then they will be very incomplete. Then I will probably have to rely on formulas and say this is the way you do it really fast. But there's so many videos on YouTube that are already like that, where they start with formulas. They don't take the time to explain how these quadratic concepts make sense. And that's what I do. That's what I specialize in. Trust me, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and there's no one else doing what I will be doing in this series. So just be patient. If sometimes you think the videos are too long, trust me, they could be longer if I wanted to. All right, if I didn't worry about your time, and I want to respect your time. So therefore, I'm going to always try to make them as short as possible. Now, having said that, another reason why they might be a longer video is because, like I said, my range of audience experience will be from very low. Most of the people that will watch these videos, I think, are learning quadratics conceptually for the first time. Maybe you've already mastered quadratics and those formulas, but now you want to understand why those formulas work. And I guarantee you, no matter what your level is, whether it's a beginner or you passed algebra with an A before, and algebra 2, you've taken pre-calculus and done really well. But if you don't understand these concepts, then there's something in here for you. All right. There's something that you will learn, I promise. So for every level, whether you're beginner or advanced. So that's why I try to make them as short as possible, but also very complete. My videos are very complete. I believe that. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say about the series mainly, and about the things that you, the audience member, should be thinking or doing while going through these videos. And one more thing, if you're a teacher and that I meant to talk about earlier, if you're a teacher and you want to look for a new way of teaching math, or you just want to see how other teachers teach math, then this series can give you a great example of how I do it. All right. So thank you if you made it up to this point. I doubt it. I don't think that you guys are here to hear me or watch me talk about my math videos. But yeah, thank you. And go practice some math, whether it's in your own textbook or you want to watch one of my videos, you want to search another YouTube video, go do it. Math, no matter what's the thing that's most important is that you're practicing math. All right. And if you can, I won't ask you to do this a lot, but if you can help me out by subscribing to this channel, that would be awesome. And I hope that you enjoy my content, and I look forward to making more for you guys. All right. So thank you. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.